Hey guys, how's it going on the chair? Welcome to round 8 of the career mode series here on the channel. It's time for the race and we are getting into our car there. You saw it raining there, but I did not have the introduction to the circuit of the race itself. So I took the footage from practice where it was raining. So there's a little bit of explanation for you. But we are going to be racing now around this Spielberg circuit. Interestingly enough, having only 8 corners this track. Indeed, only 8, that's not a lot. So we go through the setup here. Not really interesting things here, just all standard and basic, just like you would expect. So 36 laps this race, and it's gonna be an important race for us after the very poor Canadian Grand Prix. As said multiple times before, I really want to get some kind of revenge going on, you know, and really perform well here. We had a good qualifying, except for Q3, which did not really go according to plan. But hopefully we can make up some positions here straight away at the race. And I do expect the AI going to be braking pretty early for turn 2. So we might have some opportunities there as our teammate qualifying in P14. So 4 places down on us. Not too bad. And we have already 3 lights, 4 lights as the engineer explained something. 5 lights and the lights are out and away we go. Round 8 is a fact now as we are underway. So the initial launch okay-ish, but then the AI comes into play. They always have a good start, and so did they have a good start once again. Luckily for us, the run down to turn 1 is not that long. We are on the inside here. We see a Ferrari going on the outside. That is Raikkonen. We kept 10th position, and now we head down into turn 2. As I said here, I do expect the AI to brake early, so I'm gonna dive down the inside and see what's going to happen. Here we go. Yeah, indeed, they brake pretty early down the inside of a McLaren there as well. We see Rosberg there in P5, and we are up to P6 at the moment. It does look like it. There was a McLaren on the outside, I'm pretty sure, but well, he's gone. I really do not know where the McLaren went. Probably behind Raikkonen. So he had a very poor exit of turn 2. Anyway, we just went through turn 3, and then this is turn 4 probably. So we see Rosberg up ahead in P5 and Alonso in front of him. It's going to be pretty tricky now to stick with these guys, I suspect. Just like we have seen every single race, you know. I can keep up for the first 2 corners, but that's really it. After that, the AI just starts to settle into their own pace, and they become a lot quicker than us. But who knows, maybe it's different around this track. So we complete the final sector here, and that was the first lap done. It's a pretty good start, gained 4 positions up to P6. P8 is our target here as Rosberg had a little bit of a look on the inside, I think, of Alonso, or he was waving a little bit, don't know why. But anyway, it puts us up very closely behind the Mercedes. But look at the Mercedes power here. It's just pulling away, even though I'm in mix 3 and in the slipstream. I know that Rosberg is in the slipstream as well. When we hit him, we hit Rosberg. That looked really clumsy. And of course, I've got to give that position to him now. Cannot overtake him. I just braked a lot later than him. And I probably should have stayed to the left-hand side. I tried to go to the inside to just avoid him, more or less. But I couldn't do that. But yeah, coming back. You know, the Mercedes power is just incredible from that Mercedes up ahead. I mean, of course he got a tow from Alonso himself too, but he was just pulling away even though I was on in mix 3. Anyway, about to complete lap 2, and I have one standard view strategy for this race, which you will be for this race, which you will see me using just every single lap, basically. I think this view plan works pretty well, as the gap to Rosberg is 1.7 seconds. Button behind us is Button is a second behind us, and that means he probably will have DRS. But anyway, we skip to lap 6. It's now Raikkonen again behind us. Nothing happened in the last couple of laps. The only thing which happened is Rosberg pulling away from us. We had a sweet final corner there, hitting the apex nicely. You know, the cars behind me got DRS. There was some battling behind, but they never really got close to me. At least not close enough to attempt you know, an overtake. But the gap to Rosberg is 4.5 seconds, and that is quite a bit. But Rosberg looks to be still stuck behind Alonso, and Hamilton is leading. Hamilton is quite a long way ahead, I believe, of the rest of the field. So let's have a look. Here is Raikkonen in the DRS zone. So the DRS will be wide open as we approach turn 3, but he is too far back for sure. So we slow it down once again to turn 3, a little bit too deep into the corner, showing that we are starting to get some tire wear going on now, and well, less grip as a result of that. Just coming here through, is this turn 4, then it's turn 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, I think that's right. This must be 5th corner, 6th corner, 7th corner coming up, as we see Raikkonen going past there. I think that is indeed Raikkonen going past, and I am going to dive into the pit lane here, and oh, once again being clumsy there. That was Button who hit us on the pit entry. I just went too wide on the pit entry. Anyway, we're gonna go into the pit here, select the prime tire, lap 7 of the race, and I decided to pit. I basically wanted to fend it off the cars behind me, so they wouldn't go for the undercut and come out in front of me as we are being held up. Yeah, we definitely got held up there by about a second. That's not really what you want at this stage. We got held up by Massa there, who was also coming into the pit lane. Anyway, we skipped to the end of the very same lap, so still lap 8. We see some more cars into the pit, including our teammate, who is not really doing that well, I think, in this race. And as you can see on the minimap and on the right hand side as well, there are a few cars exiting now. That's a Williams. I can see a Force India there. That's Hulkenberg. But there's a car in front though, and he managed to escape us. Also thanks to us being held up, I think, and that is Button. So remember, we had some contact with Button on the pit entry, but now he managed to pass us. So fair play to him. And that means we are now in P12. Still a couple of drivers have to pit. So far it went okay-ish. The first stint was okay-ish. We're a little bit unlucky here with our pit stop as I have a lock up into turn 3. That's definitely not going to help us. You can see Hulkenberg in the mirror there closing in on us thanks to my error there. So we approach turn 3 again. Very, very long left-hander. The car becomes very floaty thanks to the height change. Goes a little bit downhill, but it's a fantastic corner in my opinion, very technical. Those couple of corners, you need a good understanding of the racing line, know when to turn in, stuff like that. So we once again come through the final sector here. Lap 9 is completed, we're going to lap 10. It's a little bit offensive for Hulkenberg. He will have DRS for sure, and I do not want to give him an extra advantage by well, giving him some free slipstream. There's another car actually in the pits. Let's have a look at the mirrors. That is a McLaren, so that has to be Magnussen then. So Magnussen is still behind us. We are in P8. And as said, Button managed to escape. And not only Button, I think there's a Ferrari in front of Button, which means that Raikkonen also managed to escape us, unfortunately. So that means we've lost a few positions there, which is not good. But now we are on the prime tire, and I think everyone around me is currently running on the option tire, if I'm right. I think that is right. So we're going with a little bit of a different strategy here. I wanted to keep some options open by going to the prime, and then see what would what would happen. As I said, kept some options open for later on in the race. It's always nice to have that, I guess. Get the prime tires out of the way. The penultimate corner here, fantastic corner, very quick right-hander, and then there's another quick right-hander. You go another gear down to 4th gear, and then up to the gears once again as you go down the main straight. So 112.507, new fastest lap on the prime tire. We're entering lap 11 right now. There's a 4.2 second gap to Jensen Button up front, and currently being a little bit quicker than Magnussen, I believe, although we skip to the ending of lap 13, beginning of lap 14. We do not have Magnussen anymore behind us, but it's now Bottas behind us with Hamilton in front of us. So I do not know whether Hamilton already pitted twice, I'm not sure actually. But anyway, we now got Rosberg in front of us anyway, by leading us by 7.5 seconds. And Bottas is putting some pressure on us. You can see McLaren behind Bottas, so that has to be Magnussen then, meaning that Bottas cut past Magnussen, and now we are under pressure from him. So the scheduled pit stop now says lap 15, but that would be my scheduled pit stop if I went for the option tire, which I did not do. So we're gonna have to go a little bit longer than lap 15. Bottas is very close behind us. He will have the DRS. He picks up the slipstream, goes to the outside. I'm defending the inside line for turn 3 as it goes around the outside. Gonna have to brake very late here, but also leave him space on the outside. Plenty of space given, but then he had Bottas back out of it anyway. He couldn't manage to keep it around the outside, so that means we keep this position, but Bottas putting quite a lot of pressure on us now. I do not want to lose this position, so we're gonna have to keep on pushing. But also, you know, they are still on the option tire. I'm on the prime tire. Obviously, their tires are a little bit more degraded than mine, but well, these worn prime tires are well, also not really that great. As you can see, they're just not having the turn in I expect from the car. There's of course also quite a bit of fuel. We aren't even past the halfway mark as we once again go to the inside here. Don't want to give Bottas any slipstream. 10 seconds to Rosberg, so Rosberg is flying right now, increasing the gap by, well, a lot of time every single lap. So we skip to lap 16 now, so a little bit later, 4 thousandths up on our previous first sector. So, well, good consistency, but at the same time, as our teammate is in the pit, at the same time we are losing quite a bit of time to Rosberg. And not only to Rosberg, there's a little bit of a train forming behind me, as you can see on the minimap. Obviously I'm leading a train with Bottas behind, and Bottas just cannot find a way past at the moment. As you can see here, I'm saving fuel every single time through these couple of corners here, and I can use that fuel then in or down the main straights and down the well, in the DRS zones, and that's helping me currently staying ahead of Bottas. But yeah, he's getting pretty close the whole time. But I do nail my exits usually, meaning I carry a lot of speed onto the DRS zones, making it very hard for him to overtake. So we see some more people in the pit. There's our 3 drivers into the pit lane, meaning we jump from P7 to P4 now. I think Raikkonen went into the pit lane, so obviously they were on the option tire and now going for the prime probably. Unless they go for another option tire and then go to the prime, but I do not see that happening, to be honest. We braked very late for turn 2, a little bit too late, has to be said, going way too deep into there. This is going to give Bottas a good chance at overtaking us as we go down to turn 3. Look at Bottas here, he once again goes for the outside line as I defend the inside line. We're coming down to turn 3 right now, braking at the one on me board, and I can take him. Yeah, I can take him back down the inside. Once again he was on the outside, but he backed out of it, meaning we are now in P4 yet again. But ooh, almost made a mistake there, and it almost costed us quite a bit. I mean, the position is a lot here. It's hard to, pretty hard to overtake, as is being demonstrated by the AI perfectly. I do not want to fall, you know, behind Bottas as we are going to pit here in lap 17 again, cutting or making sure that the AI is not going to undercut me. And we go into the pit lane. Ooh, a little bit hot indeed, and there we go. We select the prime tire once again. I'm once again going for the prime tire. I wasn't, you know, too unhappy about it. It felt okay-ish, so I thought let's do it again and then go for the option in the final stint. I mean, the AI is once again going onto the prime tire. They were on the option tire before. They couldn't overtake me then, so why, you know, would they not go or why would they overtake me now when they are going for the prime yet again? As we exit the pits, there's a Force India pretty close to us, that is Hulkenberg, who now slots in then in front of Bottas. So good stuff from Hulkenberg, jumping Bottas during the pit stops, as our team really made a good pit stop. Look at the gap we made up to Bottas, the Williams. There's another Williams behind Bottas, so that has to be Massa then. We see Hulkenberg there, his DRS is wide open as we go down to turn 3 once again. We just got past the halfway mark for this race already. We're gonna on me board once again, new prime tire, so look at that, they stick very well to the apex indeed. So we skip to lap 18, the beginning of lap 90, Rosberg has at a 110.1. And we just finished our outlap then. So the gap to Raikkonen at the moment is 13.6 seconds. And there's a train behind me, a train including, or a train which has 4 cars in it, 5 including me. Let's keep an eye out on the gap to Raikkonen as well, 13.3 seconds. 7 tenths to Hulkenberg, but obviously he's going to close down thanks to having the DRS, but I'm going to mix free yet again, making sure he doesn't overtake me, using all the power that I have available from the engine. So we touch the inside of the curb there, turn 3 a little bit. You do not want to see that really, you don't really want to do that. You saw me there correcting the car a little bit. It unsettles the car 9 out of 10 times really. So you do not really want to do that. There are actually several lines possible in my opinion through turn 3. You can go a little bit deeper, which makes it easy to get on the throttle earlier. Thanks to that, take more speed down the little straight that's coming down, which is leading to turn 4. Or you can sacrifice the exit and carry more speed into the corner and stay closer to the apex. We set a 112.0, so that's half a second quicker than our previous fastest lap. 14 seconds to Raikkonen, so he seems to be out of reach for us. He's currently lapping very quickly indeed. Anyway, we skip a little bit later yet again. Lap 21. There's a car into the pit lane. That seems to be Magnussen, I think. Or is it the back marker? No, that is Magnussen. So up to P7. Bit of oversteer there on the exit of turn 1. And we once again go to McThree. Look at the environment, by the way, here in this Spielberg circuit. I mean, there are so many trees. You know, it's like a forest here. On the right hand side there as well, there are beautiful mountains. I must say that Codemasters have done a good job on this track, especially the environment. Looks very nice, very cool and very good. So with us going for the prime tire yet again, we have two options now. We either pit in lap 27-ish, so we do 9 laps on the option, or we pit a little bit earlier, go for the prime yet again, put in some quick laps and then pray that we come out yet again ahead of Hulkenberg. So, you know, stay in P7. So you can see that with the fresher tires, it's much better to, or much easier to get that car to turn in a bit more. As I did make a mistake though in the final corner, got on the grass, sacrificing the grip that I've got. 13.5 seconds to Raikkonen, so we're making up some time again. That's interesting. Maybe he's in a little bit of a battle. I have no idea. Anyway, again, another skip, or another cut I should say. Skipping to lap 24. 15.1 seconds to Raikkonen. 15.1. So Raikkonen is indeed out of reach here. So it seems like P7 is currently the maximum. Hulkenberg still following us, and behind that still the Williams, but you know, they just cannot get past me. It's very, very tricky track to overtake, and if I, you know, just keep nailing my lines, make sure I do not make mistakes, you know, these guys will not get past. It's just the way it is. Once again, go to lean mixture here. This is basically what I do every single lap, and that allows me to use rich mixtures down the most important straights. I do not use rich mixture though down the main straight, and that is a DRS zone, but I think it's just too short. Unless a car behind me is really, really close behind me, then I do like to use some rich mixture, but that hasn't really been the case this race. So once again, coming through these two corners, it's amazing to go through these two corners. Very, very quick corners. As I explained in qualifying, we see some more drivers into the pit lane. Very, very flowing corners. Those are really my type of corners. I really like them. As we come through the first corner, a bit of oversteer, and we jumped 3 cars. Yet again, there's a Mercedes coming out of the pit lane. That must be Rosberg, I believe. And up to P4 at the moment, so not too bad at all. Obviously, we still need to pit though, so that's going to drop us back. We should be virtually in P7 with Hulkenberg again having DRS, but he just drops back a little bit on the exit of that corner. So we maintain this position, and that has been the case throughout the whole race pretty much. So skipping to lap 28, diving into turn 2. You saw that, turn in a little bit too early, to give it another step with the wheel. Heading down to turn 3, and this should be my in lap. I'm going to pit this lap, and then we have 8 laps on the option tire. And that hopefully should be enough to keep Hulkenberg behind, and the train, which was there before, will also be free, 25 seconds, so that's quite a big gap. Anyway, here we go into the pit lane. See if I have a little bit of a cleaner pit entry this time. Yeah, we do. Slowing the car much more down that time. Now you go into the pit entry, you're just flying full throttle into that pit lane. It's pretty nice, pretty good feeling when you do that. We should like the option tire then. And it does look like AI is going to go for the option yet again. So the AI went with option, prime, no, option, prime, option. We did prime twice, but it worked for us, so you know, I'm not going to complain. We have a car there on the left hand side. Where's that? He jumped us. Okay, that's Maldonado though. No worries, I think he still needs to pit. As we see Williams again in front of the Force India of Hulkenberg. That's Massa. Don't know whether Bottas also jumped Hulkenberg as we slow the car down here. I don't want to go down the inside of Maldonado there. I was too far back. I'm going to focus here on the DRS zone, opening up the DRS down to, or going up to mix 3. Let's have a look, picking up the slipstream as well. Turn 3 is coming up already, but we do seem to get the move done down the inside. And we indeed get the move done. And there are two Williams cars behind Maldonado. with Hulkenberg following them. So Williams again jumped the Force India from Hulkenberg. And they are now getting held up a little bit by Maldonado. Well, a little bit. They're getting held up massively by Maldonado. And this is exactly what we want right now. Now is the time to push, create a gap to them. And, you know, just make sure you come home in 8th then. Although it has to be 7th, because I think Perez is pinning this lap. Does look like it. There are 2 cars in the pit lane. Wait, there are 2 cars in the pit lane? That has to be a back marker. Yeah, it's a back marker as well. We see another car actually in the pit though, but that is also another back marker. So P7, back to the position we were before. When Hulkenberg managed to get past Maldonado, or Maldonado pitted, I think Maldonado pitted actually. But there's now a pretty big gap to Hulkenberg. And this should be enough of a gap to take home the 7th place. 2.8 seconds. The gap to Button is 13.7 seconds. 0.6 actually. So we'll have a look at that as well, but I do not expect obviously to close the gap down to Button in 6 laps time. It's all about Hulkenberg looking in the mirrors and make sure you take home this 7th place and get some good points for the team. So we're pushing a little bit more this lap, trying to set in a good lap time. So we will also beat our teammate in the fastest lap challenge. But maybe you remember us being in P8 before, so where does this P7 come from? I think that there has been some kind of retirement from one of the cars up front or something. We'll have a look at the end of the race, because we were in P8 before, that's for sure. I wonder who's leading. It's Vettel who's leading. I think it was Hamilton before, so maybe Hamilton has had a retirement. We'll see at the end of the race though. So we have a back marker in front, that has to be Chilton, because we just past Bianchi. It was indeed Chilton, and we got past him safely as well. Entering lap 31 right now. The gap to Hulkenberg was 2.8 seconds before at this stage. We gained over, well, about 9 tenths to Button, and we extended the gap to Hulkenberg by 6 tenths. So we're doing an absolute, well, we're doing ourselves an absolute treat right now by closing down Button, but at the same time extending the gap to Hulkenberg. So the scenario at the moment is really good, as you see there, taking a more wider line through turn 3 allows me to get early on the throttle. So we come through turn 4 now. Turning a bit too early there, up to gear 5. I keep saying P5 or P4 instead of the gear itself. I noticed myself doing that a lot of times. I apologize for that. As Hulkenberg gained 2 tenths on us out of the last sector, but 5 laps to go, 3-second gap. It should be enough, shouldn't it? Coming through the final corner yet again. Start lap 32, looking solid so far. 12.3 seconds to Button, so yet again gaining some more time on in as we now go ahead and skip to the final lap of the race. Lap 36 out of 36, 1 more to go. 12.6 seconds to Jensen Button, 1.4 seconds to Hulkenberg, and 1.4 seconds, that's enough of a gap. P7 is pretty much in the pocket if I make no mistakes now. We've got this position in the back. 12.5 seconds to Jensen now. So I'm a little bit slower towards the end of the stint. Maybe because of tire wear, that might as well be a factor. DI being a bit more consistent throughout their stint. But anyway, I'm not going to complain. P7, I'm very happy with that. But we obviously still have a few more corners to go. Yet again here, having that floaty feeling. There's a lot of wheel spin on the exit of the corner. Same for that corner there. Just 2 more corners to go. This is the penultimate corner. Just one more time through this corner. Great feeling yet again. It's just amazing to go through that corner. 1 more to go. There we go. Hitting the curb nicely. Got on the throttle. Run it out wide over the exit curb. And here we go. Across the line. So P7 then. That is much more like it compared to the Canadian Grand Prix, as said, which was a very poor race. We finished above our prediction as well, or our objective, which was P8. So we gained 3 positions in the race, not bad.
7th place, good job, really good job.
So Vettel in the end won with a Red Bull 1-2. They will be happy at the home circuit, but it's indeed Hamilton here who is missing in the standings. And same for my teammates, so let's have a look. Well, actually, both of them retired. So our teammate retired and Hamilton as well. Having a look at the Drivers' Championship, 10th position now, so not bad at all. 26 points, equal to Massa. And seems like Williams is actually our rival, which is weird because Williams should be way higher up there, in my opinion. Mercedes is still leading though this championship. What a surprise! Our teammates still having no points. we are doing well, an okayish job in the championship, I would say, as our drivers are pretty happy. I was pretty happy as well with this race. Gonna have to try to carry this momentum forwards to the next race, which is, I think, Silverstone, my favorite track. I hope to do well there. I really want to do well. That is, I think, pretty much it for this video. So, gained 3 places in the race, not too bad at all. Exactly the result I wanted after a very disappointing Canadian Grand Prix. And that is, well, pretty much it for this video. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. And that is pretty much it. Excuse me. See you guys next time. Goodbye.